Niall, Team Hope are one of the most recognised NGOs in Ireland. I think a lot of people are not aware though of the range of the work you do. Could you tell me about the history of Team Hope Ireland, please, up until the present day?
Yeah, sure, I'm glad to. I mean, you're right. People don't know. People know about the Christmas shoebox appeal, but they don't know the rest of the stuff we do. Well, Team Hope is an Irish Christian international development aid charity, and we've been we work with children, and mainly in Eastern Europe, former Soviet Union, and in Africa. We currently work in about 17 countries, and we've been going originally. It started because a few of us back in the early late 1990s, maybe, started to do some shoeboxes and put them together, and it just grew from there. And we, for many years, from then up to about 2010, we had a relationship with an American international relief development organisation, and then we separated from them, and we become a charity in a role, an Irish charity, in 2010. So I guess, we started doing it nearly 20 years ago, and we're still doing it. But Team Hope has existed since 2010.
You mentioned there that you're a Christian organisation. Can you tell me a bit about the importance of Jesus Christ's message to your work? And can you tell me if you have to agree with Christianity to get involved in Team Hope?
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's very important. We are a Christian organisation. And, in the Gospels, Jesus said that when he was asked what he was about, at one stage he said, "He sent me to give good news to the poor, for the blind to see, and to tell prisoners that they're prisoners no more, to set the downtrodden free." And I mean, that's a great message, and that I guess is a good mandate for us. For us, Christianity is not so much about rules or religion. It's about hope. It's about freedom, and we want, with everyone we impact, we want to be good news to people. So yeah, it's really important to us. And you asked about if anyone has to be a Christian or whatever. No, we welcome everyone. Both at this end, we've about 2,000 volunteers who are involved in the Christmas shoebox appeal, mainly here, and we don't ask what they are. They're more than welcome, all of them, either to do a shoebox, to help with packing shoeboxes, wherever it is. We're very glad to see anyone. And then on the other side, with the children, we're often asked, do they have to be Christian or to get a shoebox? No, certainly not. Our only criteria is the need of the children. So other colour, ethnicity, religion, none of that comes into it at all. If they're needy kids, they get shoeboxes.
You mentioned that you work in, I think, 17 different countries. You don't have to name them all now, but can you tell me the biggest countries you work in?
Yeah, we work in Eastern Europe. So Romania, Kosovo, Ukraine, Belarus, those sort of countries. Working about 7 or 8 countries there. And then about the same in Africa. So probably the major countries we work in would be Swaziland, Kenya, Malawi, and then others like Rwanda, Burundi, Central African Republic, Uganda, Tanzania, Lesotho, the list goes on. But yeah, so that's the list.
Apart from your Christmas shoe appeal, presents or Christmas that we'll talk about in a few minutes, you do a wide range of other work, don't you?
We do, and that's the bit that we're not known about very much. What happens through our Christmas shoebox appeal, we work all the time with partners in these countries, and these partners say, look, the shoeboxes are fantastic. Thank you very much. Keep them coming. But you're probably aware that these children have healthcare issues, have education needs, need clean water. So what we do is we're there all year round, funding projects, community development projects on the ground with children in these countries and through them into their families and communities in all those sort of areas.
Can you tell me how many people you help every year? How many? Is it children only you help, or is it the communities, or what?
No, it's predominantly children because we're a children's charity. But you can't help kids and not help the families, or not just help a family and not help the community. So it's through the children into families and into communities. I mean, the numbers it's very hard to know. I know with Christmas shoeboxes last year, we sent out over 250,000, 254,000 from Ireland, which was fantastic. But I mean, the number is thousands and thousands.
Your Christmas presents appeal is a fantastic idea. Can you tell me who came up with the idea for it? And could you tell me a bit about the evolution of the campaign from when it was first launched until today?
Yeah, it certainly wasn't our idea. Some of your older listeners will remember in the early 1990s, just after the fall of communism, on our television screens at the time, all over the screens were children who were being discovered in Romanian orphanages, and they were sitting in their beds or their cots, very often chained or tied to the cots and just rocking backwards and forwards in their cot. And many people around the time were moved and got involved with Romania. But there's a family who have become good friends of us, a guy called Dave Cook, and Dave and his family were sitting around the breakfast table in the kitchen one day, watching it on the television, and they said, look, we've got to do something about this. And what can we do? You know, sitting here in North Wales and they're there. And someone around the table said, hey, why don't we get a shoebox and fill it with little gifts and we'll send it off? And that was the start of it. It went from there, and now it's a worldwide project and concept. But that's how it started.
So it's 250,000, is that what you said, boxes every last year?
254,000, 218 boxes last year. I mean, since we started, over 3.5 million children. And I mean, the thing about that is each one of those children is a story. I could keep you here all day. I won't, but I'll just tell you one story. Last year I was in Kenya, and I met this little girl called Kavi. She was 8 years old, and I said to her, she'd got a shoebox a few months previously, and I said, what was your favourite thing in the shoebox? And she said, well, there were two things. One was underwear. She'd never had underwear before in her life, and she was 8 years old. And the other thing was a copybook. And I said, well, why was the copybook special? Because that wouldn't be particularly special for a Christmas present for a child here. And she said to me, well, it's like this. When I go to enroll in school at the start of the school year, if I have a copybook, I'm in. If I don't, if my mum or dad or whoever looks after me doesn't have the money to buy me a copybook, and many of them just don't, then I don't go to school. So it's my passport to education. And the thing about that is education means they have some chance of getting a job. And if they have a job, they have some chance of getting out of the poverty trap. Otherwise they don't. So education is really important.
And when is your Christmas appeal for this year started already?
No, not quite. We're now in the middle of August. It launches in about a month's time, and at that stage, it'll be on the media, and it'll be, we'll have our own stuff all over our website, which is teamhope.ie. And if anyone there wants to get involved, any of the listeners, we would love them to do that. They just need to go onto our website, and they can get all the details there. Okay,
I was going to ask you what kind of things you want in the shoe boxes, but you can find out on the website, yeah?
It's all on the website. It's a list of things to put in. We basically have a concept of 4 W's. So it's things to wear, small clothing items, things to wash with, so hygiene items, soap, toothpaste, toothbrush, face cloth, things to write with, so education items, things like copybooks, pens, pencils, and then finally things to go wow at, which is just a treat. It could be sweets, it could be a toy, it could be anything like that. So that's the things that go in, and then there's certain things we ask people not to put in as well, because for health and safety reasons or customs reasons we can't send them. So it's all on our website and all on all our leaflets and literature.
Yeah, I presume you check the boxes before they go abroad.
Yeah, we have a great group of volunteers. We have 50 teams all around the island. And every single box that comes in has to be checked. Basically, the things that we ask people not to put in aren't in it, and we unfortunately have to take them out. But everyone is checked for customs purposes and sealed, and then the next person that opens that is the child who gets it in the receiving country.
Yeah. Do you yourself do much travelling every year, like to the countries you're working abroad?
I do some, and the team here would, because one of our concerns is that the help we give, whether it's shoeboxes or whether it's funding for community development projects, that what we tell the public here actually does happen. So we want to monitor and make sure the quality is good, to make sure it's carefully spent, well spent. So we travel just to ensure all that and keep the quality high. So yes, we do. We travel to our major partners. We like to travel. Someone from the team would see them once a year. Well, the community development projects we do centre really on one of the 3 things, which is clean water, education or healthcare. In Kenya, for example, we have a whole clean water project in an area where there is water, but it's dirty. So the cows come into the river or into the ponds, and the people just come with a bucket and take the water out. And we have a project there of household water filter systems. And a couple of years ago, I was with with one of the families who got that, and they said, our kids and us, we've had all sorts of stomach problems. Now we don't, because we have this from you. Thank you very much. It means our kids can go to school and get the education. So it's water, healthcare in other countries, a lot of education in Africa as well. In Rwanda, we do a lot of education work. In Burundi, we've done education work. So yeah, all these vital things, things which are all mentioned in the UN Sustainable Development Goals.
I was going to ask you about them. I see the SDGs are mentioned on your website several times. You work a lot with schools, like even in Ireland, like a lot of schools in Ireland. And today kids are taught about the SDGs. How would you describe the feedback you get in Ireland and the countries where you work abroad on the SDGs?
Well, you're right. We do a lot of work in schools, particularly through the Shoebox Spiel and through a project called Confirming Hope, which works with kids who are being confirmed. And you're right. The children in schools are aware of the SDGs and what they're all about. And we've got two reactions from them. One is, what can we do to help? Or else, to be honest, they say, the first, the 17 SDGs from the UN, and the first one is no poverty. The second one is zero hunger. And they look at that and say, that's ridiculous. That's not feasible. So why would you bother? So you get one of those two reactions. But I think the important thing we try and say, look, these are goals. These are aspirational. And look, it can only happen if we all work together. But you can do a bit. I have a friend who once said that no man can change the world, but he can change the world for one man. And that's our attitude. We're not going to change the world by what we do, but we certainly can help individual people.
You help thousands of people every year. We're now in August, tens of thousands. We're now in August 2017. In summary, what is your message in summary to our listeners? And could you tell me the ways in which more people can get involved with Team Hope and contact you?
Well, I guess the first thing I'd say, so many Near FM listeners do get involved with this, particularly through our Shoebox Spiel. And the first thing I'd want to say, and if I don't say anything else, I want to say thank you. You have made an incredible difference. The people of Ireland have just been so generous and making a real difference and changing lives in Africa and in Eastern Europe. So a huge thank you. We would love you to get involved again this year. And as I say, we'll be launching in the middle of September. At that stage, go on our website. All the details are there. It's teamhope.ie again. And it's all there. Get involved, do a shoebox, help with your local team. We have a local team based in the North Dublin area, and that's probably the local for many of you. But there's teams all around the country, wherever you are. Get involved, get your school involved, get your kids' school, your parents' school, your granny's school, your whatever, get your neighbours, everyone involved. And then if you're interested in the community development projects, go onto our website again, and all that there is on the community development project, and list the countries we work in, where we do, what we do in each of the countries. So get involved, but it's all on the website. Go on the website and have a look for yourself.
Okay, no, it was great talking to you. I'll be talking to you again maybe next year. Thanks very much, right?
Thank you very much indeed.